What a wild stretch it's been for the Philadelphia Eagles. Just when you think things might finally quiet down, another headline drops, another storyline takes over, and the city is buzzing again. That's just how it goes with this team, man. There's never a dull moment in Philly. And this week might be one of the most unpredictable yet. From a veteran cornerback stepping away from football completely, to the never-ending drama surrounding A.J. Brown, the birds just can't stay out of the spotlight. So, let's dive right into it, because there's a lot going on in the nest right now. First off, we got to talk about the news that completely blindsided everyone. Jaire Alexander, the two-time All-Pro corner who was just traded to Philly, has decided to step away from the game. The move caught fans, analysts, and even some teammates by surprise. Imagine this. 2 Saturdays ago, Howie Roseman pulled the trigger to bring in Alexander, a proven veteran who could stabilize a young cornerback room and add some serious experience on the outside. Then, before anyone could even see him suit up in midnight green, he's done, at least for now. According to reports, he's stepping away to focus on his mental and physical health, which, of course, is always the right call when you're not in the best place to compete. But man, from a football perspective, what a twist. It's not like the Eagles traded for a guy who was a mystery. Alexander has been one of the best corners in the league when healthy, but that's been the catch for a while now, when healthy. The injuries piled up over the last few seasons, and it started to feel like his body was betraying his talent. Even when he was introduced in Philly, there were whispers that maybe he wasn't 100%. Still, he practiced, he looked engaged, and there were even small rumors floating around that he might debut against his old team, the Packers, on Monday Night Football. That would have been something, right? Facing Green Bay, the team that drafted him, in primetime wearing Eagles colors. But it never happened. The coaching staff decided not to bring him on the trip, and within days, the announcement came that he was stepping away. The timeline is kind of wild when you think about it. November 1st, the Eagles make the trade. By November 11th, he's stepping away and possibly retiring. That's 10 days between being introduced and being gone. It's one of the shortest stints in team history. Fans are already joking that he's joined the never-played-a-snap for Philly club alongside guys like Frank Gore and Zadarius Smith. But all jokes aside, it raises questions. What does this mean for the Eagles' secondary? Do they get their draft pick back? How does this impact roster depth? From what's been reported, Philly sent a 6th-round pick to Baltimore and got back Alexander, plus a 7th-rounder in 2027. So, it's not like they gave up a massive haul, but still, you make a move like that expecting at least some on-field value. Now, I can already hear some fans saying, just get a Sonny Samuel Jr. And you know what? That's not as far-fetched as it sounds. The Steelers just signed him to their practice squad. And here's the key part. Practice squad players can be signed to another team's active roster at any time. So, if Howie wants to, he could absolutely make a move there. It would take some roster shuffling, sure, but it's not impossible. And man, talk about a full-circle story. A Sonny Samuel Jr. playing for the same team his dad starred for would make for an incredible headline. Senior even threw a few eyeball emojis on social media right after the Alexander news dropped, and you can bet that got fans stirring the pot. Meanwhile, the Eagles did make a few internal moves. Jaquan Bennett is now back on the active roster after spending some time injured earlier this year. That's a guy who flashed some potential before getting hurt in Week 3. Remember that blocked field goal play against the Rams? He made the hit that set up the scoop and score to win the game. Plays like that stick in the coaching staff's mind, and with his return, the Eagles might already have the depth they need. Add in Adoree Jackson, who quietly had one of his better games of the year against Green Bay, and the cornerback room might not be as shaky as people think. Jackson, by the way, deserves a little credit. He's been an easy target for criticism, but lately he's tightened things up. No receiver has put up more than 40 yards on him since Week 1. The Packers didn't have all their weapons, sure, but you can only play who's in front of you, and he handled business. So between Jackson, Bennett, and Khalil Ringo, the Eagles might be okay in the short term. If the pass rush keeps firing like it did against the Giants and the Packers, that takes a ton of pressure off the secondary anyway. But let's be honest, the big story right now, the one everyone can't stop talking about, is A.J. Brown. Man, this situation is just draining at this point. Every week it feels like there's something new. Whether it's a cryptic tweet, a sideline moment, or now, a Twitch stream where he's clearly frustrated, the drama just won't go away. It's almost ironic because the team is winning. The Eagles are 7-2, top of the NFC, and yet the conversation keeps circling back to one player's mood. So, here's what went down. AJ was playing Madden on stream with a popular gamer who happens to be a Commanders fan. And during the chat, AJ starts dropping hints that he's not in a good place. The gamer asks if everything's good, and AJ flat out says, "No, family's good. Everything else? No." He laughs a little, but you can tell there's frustration behind it. Later on, he even jokes, or maybe doesn't joke, that if you have him on fantasy football, you should drop him. That line alone blew up online. Every sports page was quoting it. And then, during the stream, he throws himself a touchdown in Madden and says, "This is the only positive football I've got right now." Like, come on. That's not exactly subtle. Now, we all get it. A.J. Brown is an elite competitor. The guy is wired differently. He wants to be great, and he's not satisfied with just being good. That mentality is part of what makes him so dominant on Sundays, but can also be a double-edged sword. When the targets drop or the offense sputters, he wears his frustration on his sleeve. And lately, the numbers haven't been what we're used to seeing. He's still one of the top receivers in the league, but the production's been inconsistent. Missed a game with a hamstring issue, saw only 3 targets against Green Bay, and you can tell it's eating at him. The thing is, this Eagles offense has been a bit of a roller coaster. One week they look unstoppable, the next they can't seem to find a rhythm. Some of that falls on the play calling, some on execution, but either way, when you have a talent like A.J. Brown and he's barely getting the ball, it's bound to create tension. Look at what Sean McVay's doing in L.A., finding 20 ways a game to get Puka Nacua touches. That's creativity. Philly's got to find that same energy with their stars. But here's the crazy part. Despite all the noise, the team is winning. They've got the best record in the conference. They just beat Green Bay, and the defense looks nasty again. So from the outside looking in, it's like, why all the drama? You've got a team that's positioned to make another Super Bowl run, a quarterback in Jalen Hurts who's been nothing but supportive, and a front office that's built one of the deepest rosters in football. And yet, we're sitting here talking about tweets, streams, and body language. It's exhausting, man. I get it, though. AJ's not just any player. He's passionate, emotional, and holds himself to a ridiculous standard. That's part of what makes him special. But there comes a point where the drama starts to overshadow the success, and that's where things get dangerous. The Eagles have worked hard to build a culture that's about we, not me. Nick Sirianni, Howie Roseman, and Jeffrey Lurie have been crystal clear about that. It's how they turn this team into a contender year after year. So when one of your stars starts making it about himself, even unintentionally, it shakes the foundation a bit. Some people are even starting to wonder, would the Eagles consider moving him after the season if this continues? It sounds crazy, right? Trading away one of the top 3 receivers in football? But if the team feels like the distractions are outweighing the production, if they believe Devonta Smith can step up as WR1 and they can draft another stud on a rookie deal, maybe it's not so far-fetched. Financially, it would make sense too. Instead of paying 2 receivers a combined $50+ million a year, you free up space and reload with youth. It's just wild to think we're even having this conversation about a guy who helped them win a Super Bowl. Coming to Philly turned A.J. Brown into a household name. He became an all-pro, a champion, a fan favorite. But lately, the energy feels off. Maybe it's frustration with the offense. Maybe it's something deeper. Either way, this team can't afford distractions right now. They're in the middle of a championship window, and the margin for error is slim. If you followed this Eagles team for any length of time, you know how quickly stories evolve in Philadelphia. One week it's about the defense not getting enough pressure. The next week it's about offensive play calling, and right now, it's about whether the locker room can handle the noise. Because make no mistake, there is noise. Every camera in the league is on A.J. Brown, and every microphone seems to be waiting for him to say something that can be turned into a headline. It's wild because inside that building, people swear he's one of the hardest working and most respected guys in the room. Coaches love his intensity. Teammates admire how serious he is about his craft. But outside, it started to feel like people are watching a reality show instead of football team. And you can feel that tension bubbling. The fans are split. Half the city is defending him, saying he just wants to win, he's a competitor. The other half is over it, ready to move on and get back to football. That's the thing about Philadelphia. This fan base loves passion, but it also has limits. They'll defend their players until the energy starts to feel like a distraction. Right now, they're asking, are you with the team, or are you doing your own thing? And that's a tough question when your wide receiver is posting cryptic messages while your team sits at the top of the conference standings. Inside the Novacare complex, though, the message is all about keeping focus. Jalen Hurts, as calm and stoic as ever, keeps preaching consistency. The guy's unshakable. You could drop him in a hurricane, and he'd still talk about keeping the main thing the main thing. That's why he's the perfect leader for a moment like this. Hurts doesn't take the bait, doesn't feed the drama, doesn't throw anyone under the bus. He just works. That quiet leadership is what's kept the locker room stable through all the noise. You look at his relationship with AJ, and yeah, they've had sideline moments, but it's never felt malicious. It's two competitors who want to be great. Still, you could tell Hurts is probably tired of having to answer questions about it every single week. Nick Sirianni's doing his part too. He's got that fire, that teacher energy, and he's been protecting his players since day one. But even he knows that this kind of story can take on a life of its own. That's why he's been quick to remind everyone, this team's goals haven't changed. They want to win another Super Bowl, and to do that, they can't let anything fracture the chemistry they've built. Sirianni's the kind of coach who believes that the locker room polices itself, and so far, it feels like that's still happening. But when the noise gets loud enough, even the best teams start to feel the cracks. Meanwhile, on the field, the Eagles continue to grind through one of the toughest stretches of the schedule. The defense looks rejuvenated, especially the front seven. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter are absolute monsters inside, collapsing pockets like it's nothing. Haason Reddick looks like a man on a mission again. And the young corners, even with Alexander gone, are showing they can hang. Quinyon Mitchell, what a revelation he's been. The kid's playing like a seasoned vet, fearless, confident, sticky in coverage. You can tell the coaching staff loves him. Every game, it feels like he's taking another step toward becoming that next shutdown corner this defense has been searching for. Offensively, it's still a work in progress. Hurts and Devonta Smith are finding their rhythm. Dallas Goedert has been that reliable safety valve, and the running game continues to be the identity. DeAndre Swift and Kenneth Gainwell keep pounding away, and the offensive line, even with a few banged-up bodies, remains one of the best in football. But you can feel the inconsistency. Some drives look unstoppable, surgical, efficient. Others sputter, stall, and leave everyone scratching their heads. That's where the frustration builds. When A.J. Brown sees those missed opportunities, those moments when the offense could have been better, it hits him harder than most. He knows how good this team can be, and he wants to be part of that success. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The city of Philadelphia is buzzing with a rumor that could shake the foundations of the NFL. Tyreek Hill, one of the most electrifying players in football, is reportedly joining the Eagles in what insiders are calling the biggest signing in franchise history. Nothing has been confirmed officially, but whispers inside the league suggest the deal has been in the works quietly for weeks, with both sides eager to keep negotiations under wraps until the final signature dries. If true, the addition of Hill to the Eagles' already dynamic offense would send shockwaves through the league. Known for his unmatched speed and explosive playmaking, Hill brings an energy that could transform any offense overnight. Philadelphia fans, famous for their passion and scrutiny, are already lighting up social media with speculation, jersey mock-ups, and theories about how the coaching staff plans to use him. Sources close to the team say the Eagles' front office pulled out all the stops to make this move happen, with executives describing it as a historic commitment to chasing another championship. Hill's arrival would not only elevate the offense, but also signal that Philadelphia is all in, financially, strategically, and emotionally, on building a dynasty, not just a contender. Yet, there's an air of mystery surrounding how this blockbuster deal came together. Some insiders hint that Hill's desire for a new challenge, combined with the Eagles' reputation for innovation, made the decision easier than expected. Others speculate that internal tensions in his previous organization may have played a part. Whatever the reason, the football world is on edge, waiting for confirmation. In locker rooms, talk shows, and group chats across the country, the question remains the same. Could this actually be happening? If the rumor holds true, Philadelphia may have just pulled off one of the most audacious signings in NFL history, a move that could redefine the balance of power for years to come. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.